Hey guys, what is up? So last week I showed you some Japanese games that I got recently. Well, they didn't quite fit on the shelf. So I had to drill some holes, make some room on the shelf. I thought about taking out my Retro City Rampage display, but that would only free up like maybe 26, 27 more games I could fit on there. So I decided to take out my bottom few shelves that just had miscellaneous stuff. And for these shelves, I have my own holes drilled in them so that I can fit as many Vita games and as many Super Nintendo games as possible. I mean, look at these. There's like no gaps. It fits perfectly top to bottom. So I'm going through all my Vita games and cataloging them and all that. I've been putting them in a spreadsheet, just keeping track of what I have and how many I have. I still don't know how many I have yet because you can see I got a lot of gaps over here. I'm still not quite done. I got a few games out on the counter here, and then I also have a bunch of Vita games still sealed in their limited edition boxes. When I unbox those, I'll probably do a video for them or something, but then when I unbox them, I take the game case out of the limited edition, put it on the shelf so I can get at it easily. It's just a lot nicer, and then I'll know what my final count is. I know it's over 500 physical games for the PlayStation Vita, I just don't know how far over 500. Anyway, so today I thought we would go over the recent releases for the Vita on PlayStation Network. And also, maybe we'll take a look at a game coming out next month too. So during the month of July, we got Crypto, which is a classic cryptogram puzzler where you need to crack the code to reveal the quote. There are 180 quotes from famous people with increasing difficulty. This is the perfect type of game to play on the go while you're waiting in line, on a train, wherever you want to keep your mind occupied. While it might not be very flashy, it'll certainly keep you busy, and there's some pretty cool quotes in there too. Even Bob Ross. Awesome P2 is a super addictive retro platformer going for that Game Boy aesthetic. It's a lot of fun. I feel like there was more finely tuned focus on Awesome P2 when compared to the original. In ways, this one looks more simple, but it's still challenging, just focusing more closely on what makes it fun and with tighter controls and better gameplay. I did a full review on this game back when it was released on consoles. You can check it out if you're interested, but now that it's finally been released on the Vita, I'm happy to report that the tighter controls and smoother gameplay has carried over to the Vita release as well. I was a bit worried there for a minute. I thought it might run a little bit sluggish because it's older hardware, but no, runs great. And then we finally got Ultra Core. Ultra Core is an action platformer that was revived from the dead. It was a game that was like 99% done and supposed to be released on the Amiga and Genesis and Sega CD back in the day, but got set aside to shift focus on newer hardware at the time. Anyway, it's here now and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I have a couple tips to get you started. So first of all, you should know that there's two different control schemes. These aren't switchable in the options, they're just both enabled by default. So if you fall into one set of controls, it's easy to not realize there's another set of controls. But you can play with classic controls, which would have been what was on the Genesis or Sega CD. And that one will have you aim with your gun and move with the D-pad. This is a little bit more difficult, but very clever in how it works. Or you can use the analog sticks, one to move and one to point in the direction you want to shoot. Then use the R1 button to jump so you don't need to move your thumb off the analog stick. And this is the control scheme that I prefer on the Vita anyway. So by default, I think the game will have FM music enabled, which sounds like this. But if you go into the options, you can change it to CD quality music, which I actually prefer. So in this action platformer, you'll be doing a bit of exploring as well. You may need to find access cards or flip switches to gain entry to new areas. There are also lots of secret areas to discover. You can expect a fair bit of challenge in this game. It will test you with near pixel perfect platforming in the later levels. At the end of each stage, there will be a boss battle, and then you'll get a password to resume progress, which is one of the relics that has not been upgraded in this game. I would have loved to see a save feature, but hey, at least we can take easy pictures of our passwords these days instead of writing them down. Anyway, it's a fun game. I can always tell when a game was originally developed for the Amiga. Those bitmap fonts can't hide from me. Epic Word Search Collection 2 is obviously a word search game. But the way this one works is you have 4 different categories to choose from: America, Monster, Rock, and Summer. In each of these categories, you'll have 16 puzzles sectioned off by color and subcategories. These are all laid out on one giant word search grid that you'll scroll around with the right stick. The list of words on the right will be updated with all of the words currently visible, or at least partially visible, on the section of the grid you have displayed. So as I move this around, you can see the list updating. Use your finger or the left stick to highlight words that you found. Again, love these types of puzzles on the super portable Vita. Slip it in your man-sized pocket. I don't know why I said that. That just sounds weird and terrible. The Vita fits in men's pants pockets. That's what I'm getting at. Yumitsutu? 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 Is that how that's pronounced? Yumitsutu Remaster, or Dreams and Reality Remaster, is a Yuri Girls Love visual novel where the main characters are all part of a small game studio. This particular visual novel is a medium-length read. Expect multiple endings, including bad and good. It's done by the same studio that brought you Nurse Love Addiction and Syndrome. And well, that one took place in a more professional nurse environment. This one is a more laid-back game dev scenario. As usual, you can expect high-quality art scenes, writing, and music from this one. Then there is Yumetsutu Re-After, which is shorter than Remaster. It contains after stories for various characters in the main game. So you'll definitely want to play Remaster before playing this one. Need a Packet is a very strange game about working as a cashier. There's a real disturbing element to it for me. It's an odd, unsettling game. The version I played had several grammatical errors in it, but I think that kind of adds to the whole feel of the game. I'm pretty sure English wasn't the developer's first language, and to me it just feels very mysterious and weird. Anyway, if you're looking for something unsettling and different, check out Need a Packet? Mushroom Heroes is a puzzle platformer. You'll need to switch between 3 different mushroom characters, each having their own abilities in order to pass each stage. The green guy shoots arrows, the blue one can block with his shield, push and pull. The red guy can jump high and glide through the air. My only real complaint is that the frame rate is pretty bad. And there are some weird seams that just pop up in the background sometimes. But otherwise, it is still perfectly playable, and it's a fun little puzzle game. Eventually you get used to the frame rate. I just like to see them optimize it a little bit more. So those were the digital games we got on PSN during the month of July. But next month we will be getting Steam Tactics. Is a tactical combat game where you're directing your fleet of steam-powered airships. The game features some nice art with anthropomorphic animal characters. You know, so far I'm seeing Fox McCloud and Slippy Toad. I'm just wondering when Peppy Hare will show up to tell me to do a barrel roll. Actually, he kind of looks like a corgi. Anyway, so this is turn-based tactical combat. You can equip your ships with different guns which offer various attack ranges, and you can upgrade your guns and ship using parts and coin. Your characters will level up with experience, which will give you skill points to spend. New characters can join your fleet. There are shops for buying new weapons and parts, and if you're ever having a hard time with battle, you can always replay old battles to grind for experience and money. Anyway, I've only played for a few hours so far, but I'm having fun with this one. And of course, we can expect Xenocrisis soon, which I'm super excited for. Obviously, there was a physical release of that game in pre-order, which has already happened. But what do you guys think of these games we went over? Which ones would you like to see physical versions of, if any? Personally, I would love to see a physical release of Ultra Core. That one was really awesome. And I would like to see a physical release of the 2 Yumitsu games. The visual novel remaster and Re-After. I would like to see a physical version of those. The English ones, obviously we got the physical Japanese release. but I would like to see the English versions as well. Those are high quality visual novels, just like Nurse Love. All right, well that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.